So Peak Design just announced a new colorway for almost every piece of its bag lineup. And this isn't entirely new because, of course, we've seen this color called Coyote on the straps that were released earlier this year. However, there's actually something much deeper that you might want to know about these new bags because it's not just about the color. There is something deeper and darker. No, wait, I'm kidding. I just wanted to say that, but there is really something that I would want you to know, especially if you care about the environment, about the material that is being used for the new Coyote colorway for all the Peak Design bags. And also in this video, let me share with you some thoughts that I have about the travel backpack because I've actually been using a different size for the past year. So again, this is Peak Design's Coyote colorway that is available in the 45-liter travel backpack, the two sizes of the tech pouch, the 6-liter everyday sling, and also on the everyday backpack, as well as two sizes of the travel duffel. First impression, well, it's a new color on the bags, and that's a good option. Personally, I like the Coyote colorway. I was actually informed about this a few months back when they announced these, and I was excited to have a couple of bags also in this colorway. Now, most of the bags that I use are either in black or charcoal, so I think that me trying to be a brighter personality overall, this is going to be a great accessory for that. And of course, just in my opinion, this really does look good. Now again, I've been using the 30-liter travel backpack in black, and I realized that I have never used the accessory straps, not like how I made it on this particular one on the 45-liter Coyote. And again, we're starting with the superficial things. I like the fact that this will now create contrast. And of course, this is something that you can use to mount other accessories, other pouches, or even a travel tripod on the front, or you can also use that on the sides. Now, in terms of aesthetics, that's pretty much it. Either you like it or you don't. But one thing that you might appreciate from this new colorway is that they also use a different kind of fabric than the older Peak Design bag. In terms of the structure, the zippers, and all the hardware, that will be the same as all the other Peak Design bags that you might already have or have already used. This exterior fabric, which I'm going to give you a closer look through this B-roll clip, as you can see, also has a slightly different texture. You can see some crisscross patterns that you won't really see from afar, but you will see, of course, when it's very close to you. And this is actually because these bags are using the X-Pack VX21 Ocean Edition fabrics. So I got curious and I did a little bit of digging. And apparently X-Pack is a manufacturer of fabrics specifically made to be sailcloths. So this is a company that creates durable fabric that can be used for sailing. Now, of course, that expectation we don't really put in on these bags, but if we have that kind of standard for the fabrics on our bags, then it will mean that they will be very durable. Now, specifically, the X-Pack VX21 Ocean Edition is supposedly going to be exclusive for Peak Design bags. And what makes up this VX21 Ocean Edition? Number one, it uses CODWR. DWR is what they put on the fabric to make it water repellent so that it will not absorb any water and it will just let the moisture slide right off. Now, traditionally, the use of those DWRs will have a bit of an effect on the environment. But for these ones, they're using CODWR, which is non-fluorinated, which basically means it's better for the environment. So that's one thing that you might want to know about this. Second is that the fabric on these bags are made up entirely of recycled nylon from used fishing nets. And yes, if you're gonna dig a little deeper into the meaning of that, this is already a second life for these fabrics. So basically what Peak Design and X-Pack are doing are they are physically taking out of the water all of the used fishing nets that might not be good for fishing anymore and bringing them to us in the form of nicer, durable, and eco-friendly camera bags. Now, the third thing is that amidst all of that, all of the structural stuff and all of the zippers and all of the padding are pretty much the same as the Peak Design bags that you might already have. So basically, that's what's new about the new Coyote colorway on the Peak Design bag. Now, if you're interested in any of these, of course, there is an affiliate link down below. And if you do use that, then you basically buy me a couple of cups of coffee. So thank you. Now, among the 3 Coyote colored bags that I have right now, this is what I'm excited to use the most. Why? Because I made a mistake. Well, no, not really. So I've been using the 30-liter travel backpack for about a year now. I did also post a review about this bag, and I've been loving it ever since. However, I did not realize that I would be getting more out of the 45-liter. And I'm not just talking about size. It's actually more of the functionality. And let me do a quick rundown of that. And if you're in the market for a travel backpack, you might want to take note of these things because it will save you a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of purchases down the line. Now, of course, there are a lot of similarities about these two travel backpack sizes. We have the front pocket right here, we have the loops right here, and of course, at the back, I really love the fact that there are handles all over the entire bag, on every side, even the bottom. And I love this feature wherein you can just carry it like this and lay it flat on the ground and open it if you want to. And at the same time, this is also how you can store it on top of your rolling luggage if you are maybe boarding a plane. Now, if you don't really check out the details, what you might miss is the fact that while they have their official names with their capacity, it's actually not entirely that. So with the 30-liter travel backpack, this is actually around 26 liters. But if you expand that using the zipper right here, then you probably already know that you get a little bit more space going into around 32, 33, or maybe even 34 liters. That's good. That's nice. You have more space if you need it. Now, what I didn't look into before is that when you have the 45-liter, you actually get it in 30 liters by default, which is, okay, 30 liters. That's why it's technically not that much bigger from the 30-liter travel backpack. But then you have 2 stages of expanding it. And number 1 is when you open it, there is actually a button right here that allows you to expand it a little bit more. So now from 30 liters, we are now at 35 just by making a little bit more room here on top. But then, of course, you also have that zipper in front that will allow you to expand it even further. And this is actually gonna give you an extra 10 liters. However, do take note that if you are boarding a plane, 35 liters is usually the hard limit for the size of the carry-on, especially for backpacks. It's always better to check with the airline that you're using to see if that is good. So basically, we started with this thin, and from here to here, it's an additional 5 liters. And then when we use the zippers on the side, we basically now have a total of 45 liters in the backpack. Now, let's put that into context. When we open both of the travel backpacks, of course, we have the laptop compartment right here, and this can pretty much fit any laptop that you might want to bring. I use a 16-inch Asus ProArt laptop, and it perfectly fits in there. In addition, there is another sleeve for an iPad, so I don't think you would ever have to worry about your laptop not fitting inside these backpacks. Now, both sizes can actually fit this, which is the large Camera Cube V2. And as you can see, if we put this inside the 30-liter, I've also done this on the previous review for this size. It fits perfectly, and there's just not much room left for other stuff or other compartments. And everything is basically going to be inside the large camera cube. And even without expanding the compartment right here, as you can see, I closed the zipper on the side. You can still close it with the large camera cube. Again, the 30-liter is pretty comprehensive in terms of what you can put inside. Now, in reality, what I mostly bring around is this medium, or the middle size between small and medium. And I can carry here up to 2 bodies with 2 to 3 lenses, depending on the size. Generally, I bring this with a full-frame camera body, a 70 to 200 millimeter f4, and maybe a 16 to 35 2470 or 24105. Technically, the travel setup that I have for landscape photography already fits in this. If you're gonna have to bring a lot more, maybe you're gonna bring another body or more lenses, or maybe even a drone, then everything can fit inside here. So that's basically the generalities of the capacity. However, what I do want to show is that with the 45-liter, what we can do now, as you can see, there is still a bit more space, even if we are just at the default 30-liter capacity. Now, if we expand using the button here, we can actually make a bit of room for another pouch on top. So here, I'm gonna put the larger tech pouch, which I have been using for my H&Y filters. And that's going to be able to fit here on top. It's going to be a bit snug, but it will fit. Now, more realistically, what I'm going to do is I would use this medium one, and there's going to be so much room left, as you can see right here. And if we have that, then we can put other things like maybe packing cubes, maybe another camera cube, a small or extra small camera cube. If for some reason you want to bring the everyday sling, it can fit right in there. It can also fit with the tech pouch. So, of course, it's 45 liters. There's so much more you can bring. But again, we have not even fully expanded it here. Now, since we're kind of comparing the two sizes of the travel backpack, there is this benefit that we have here that we actually don't have on the 30-liter, which is a shame. And because of that, I also realized something that I wish would be in the smaller sizes of the camera cubes. Hopefully in the version 3 or the V3 of the camera cubes, we will see that. Now, what is that? It's this. So here we have a side opening on the large camera cube. And if you use that on the smaller travel backpack, it's basically useless because there is no side access. However, for the 45-liter, and of course, if you have a 45-liter, you know this, there is also a zipper for side access right here. So if you put your gear perfectly accessible on this side, then it is going to be easy. Now for me, this is a must-have because if you are traveling, if you're shooting outdoors, it means so much if instead of having to set down your backpack on the ground, you can just swing it to the side and then reach for the zipper, open it here, and then open it here, and then grab your camera. That's just more efficient and faster. I appreciate the fact that there is a side access on the 45-liter bags. Now, this made me realize I wish there would also be a side door on the smaller camera cubes so that they can also be used properly with the side access of the larger travel bag. Now, of course, that is a personal preference. That's something that may or may not be applicable to you. But I just feel like it's a feature that would always be beneficial if you have it there just in case. Now, honestly, I really intended for this video to be quick and concise and just talk about the new fabric and the new color and the benefits of the 45 liter, but I feel like I did a deep dive into the travel backpacks. But in any case, I hope that also helps you in choosing the right size for you, because I am going to be switching to the 45 liter from the 30 liter, and this is just going to be more versatile for me. And of course, if you have any questions, then you can leave them down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think between the two travel backpacks. And at the same time, of course, there is an affiliate link down below. And if you use that, then thank you. In any case, of course, my name is Nicco Valenzuela. I am a landscape and architectural photographer. And in this channel, I talk about landscape photography, architectural photography, some tutorials, a lot of gear reviews, and recently also a lot of camera bags. Now, if you're new to the channel, you might want to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. I don't know where on the screen they are at. But yeah, in any case, thank you for watching.